Hi, this week on ReaperLive, we have a very, very special announcement.
And I got to use the clapper. It's empowering.
This week on ReaperLive. Hi, welcome to ReaperLive. I'm Ron Hawkins, art director here at Reaper.
Ed Pugh, president here at Reaper.
And welcome to ReaperLive, the show where we blend painting, gaming, and geek culture all together for your viewing pleasure. We're joined by producer Michael Collins, technical director Justin Elliott.
Wave.
Hi, guys. All right. They waved. And welcome to ReaperLive. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
How was your turkey?
It was very good, very good. Dad came up, so he's visiting us for a few days, just hanging out, football. That's always on the list.
Sure. You full of tryptophan? Going to fall asleep?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Been fighting that all day already.
Okay. So. All right. Well, let's get into our special Thanksgiving episode. What are you going to paint today?
I'm going to paint a historically accurate...
right.
What?
Ankylosaurus. With a rocket launcher.
That has the rocket launcher. Yes, that's the part. That's what got me. So, yes, this is...
That was the part that was tripping him up, was the... Yeah. I'm painting this little chronoscope dude. I don't... What it does, you don't need to see it. It's a cool... robot guy.
Robot worker. Dude.
Yeah, well, and maybe I'll paint something else later. But what's interesting is these figures aren't part of our normal production line.
No, they're not. No, these are not part of our normal production, nor are they part of our regular. They're not even released. They're out of the.
Drum roll. Can we get an actual produced drum roll? Yeah, like that. We have a new announcement. We have a special Thanksgiving announcement we're going to deliver to you right here. We haven't mentioned this to anybody. We haven't put this anywhere else.
My mom doesn't even know.
No. This is the first place you're going to hear about this.
Yes.
Right here, right now. Right. And go ahead. Let her rip.
Bones Black. It is our new figure line for 2019. It's a dramatic improvement over the existing Bones. Price-wise, everything else we'll discuss here in a few minutes and what makes it dramatically better. However, it is a huge leap in the whole concept of plastic figures ready to go.
Okay, well let's talk about that. Let's go into some specifics. I'm going to try to paint and talk to you at the same time. It's going to be kind of different. I'm kind of excited about this, but I'll try to get this going. So they're different. First of all, it's called Bones Black. Are they don't look black? Are they actually black?
No. They're shot in a effectively just a darker gray color that you might see on the resin models. You'll see it in plastic production, things of this nature. It gives a nice opaque surface to be able to works with the light well. Then you can decide where you want to proceed. But this is the color here.
Okay.
We're both painting Bones Black model.
Black basically just means that it's a darker than our normal, and it's just a differentiation.
Well, it's just an antithesis to the bones itself.
Right. Okay. So color first of all. So we got that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as durability, how do the Bones Black models differ from regular Bones as far as durability?
Every bit as durable. Like nothing changed there.
Okay.
In fact, in some areas, even more durable.
So does that mean that the weapons are all bendy and floppy?
No. That was one of the more dramatic improvements, as you'll see on the creature, the robot here with the guns over his head, or this particular guy here standing here with his arms sticking out, or the superhero. Any of these, this is a very rigid material. Let's see, the best one would be right now with what I have here. Just showing you this right here. It's just not wanting to give. Okay. It's a particular material that we actually spent some time researching to finally come up with this and put it through a lot of subjective testing. And all of this comes from the fact that we have been listening to all of the feedback
right.
for however many
6 years. For 6 years
of Bones. People, we don't like the bendy, or we don't like the substrata diffusion. I mean, they don't look right, or they don't take all of these issues. We sat down and worked it out and have figured out a way to address it.
Explain a little bit, when you say subsurface scatter or subsurface diffusion, what exactly does that mean? What is that?
The original Bones were shot in a natural material, the PVC, which is designed to be colored to whatever the end result's supposed to be. We felt that we just liked the color of its natural state. One of the things that, we didn't realize until you get through it was photography, looking at it under an intense light, which people will use when they're painting. The light wants to go below the surface. Since it has a slight translucent effect of material, the light will actually go in and then sort of bounce back out. But it causes sort of a strange glow, for lack of a better descriptive, on the model itself. So this was an issue that we wanted to address. We've now, since in Bones line, added pigment, and that solved the problem. And here, we've added even more pigment to create the problem.
Okay. And so,
not
yeah.
create it to solve it.
Right. So the adding the pigment to it makes it easier to see.
Yes.
And these are definitely, you can see the detail, which is sharper and crisper than the regular bones. Now, that said, we are announcing the Bones Black. What's going to happen to the original Bones line?
Nothing.
Okay.
Bones itself is not going anywhere. And in fact, too, there'll even be new bones in the future. That material works really well. Larger models, all sorts of features make it superior to this. But this has a lot of superior qualities over that. So it's not one is necessarily better than the other. They're both great in what they do. And what we're trying to do is adapt and find, when we're doing it in Bones Black, that's the best way to do that model. If we're doing a large dragon like Maldekar, that's going to be in Bones. You know, kind of a that
really no need to do it in Bones Black because
this is perfect.
It's a pretty strong material as it is. Well, just paint.
And this would actually still cost. This will have a reduced cost. This is a different tooling process even than what the original Bones went to. So it's not just material; it's the actual production.
Right. Okay. See, I'm just painting this android by Patrick Keith. This is a Bones Black model, and in Bones he would have bent over on his ankles. Many times over. Yeah. But he's, very stiff.
Well, it's sort of, nice. And you saw this with swords as you're trying to put on a highlight with silver, anything like that. You got sort of that whippy, not as resistant as you wanted that you would get out of resin models, out of hard plastic models, out of metal models. Right. That allowed you to get in and paint and do what you needed to on that surface.
Now that said, these are plastic models. When you get a guy with a sword, it is plastic still. It is. There is some, if you get it, there could be some bend to it still.
Oh yeah, there will be to some extent. But I will tell you this: it's not styrene. And
that was my next question.
The big difference, though, is so that when you are bending this material, styrene, you can only get so many times on it, and you'll eventually put that little white line at the weakest, thinnest part, and then the piece will fall off, or that part of whatever. So this is actually a much more durable. So we're getting the nice side of, or a positive side of Bones itself. They're very durable. They'll handle the transport, the use of play, all sorts of being dropped, all sorts of great things. Unlike from that. So go ahead.
Okay. So all right. So they're durable, easily paintable. What happens? If you were to try to clean a faint part line off, how does that take?
Cleans very easy. Cleans very much like styrene in that sense. You can just simply scrape it. Much actually easier than Bones. We were using different methods to how to clean those seam lines. But because they are in a steel tool injected production process, the seam lines you might find in resin or in metal, which you're using silicone or rubber-based molding, whatever they're doing, they're more of an organic issue there. This is steel. You're rarely going to see shift lines, the whole
you don't see that much anyway.
Models you might get out of your pack when you didn't catch that,
But I believe that when you try to clean a line off of a Bones model, it'll tend to sort of fuzz up a little bit.
Yeah, it depends. It depends if you're scraping it or if you just go in and cut it. If you go to grind it, it'll sort of roll around the grinder a little bit, But for overall, they're not really bad. Most times it's really rare that you find those issues, but they will happen.
Okay. So, all right. So let's I'm going to hop around here for a second. So we're painting these models. People often have questions about priming Bones and whether you should do it or not. And then people are going to have the same question about Bones Black. Should you prime? Things like that. Talk a little bit about the priming of Bones, the priming of Bones Black, the differences, what you should use, what you shouldn't use, things like that.
Okay. This was a really large area. For us, it was easy. When we launched Bones, we had proven to ourselves, and there are countless videos of people on there going, wow, they were right, on on YouTube and such, that you didn't need to put a primer on Bones. That said, people still like to work from a primer for whatever reason, personal preference, the color shift they want to start from, any number of options. So if they don't feel inclined to wanting to brush, which worked fine, they were using spray primers. And not all spray primers played well with just the natural Bones material, the PVC.
Right.
So with this, we worked through several materials until we found one that covered a large spectrum of doing exactly what it is we need to do. And that's what we have here. These are all Bones Black models, and they're all spray primed using all of the commercially available and popular spray colors or spray primers. And then they come in various colors. To go through here quickly.
Pink is not a popular spray primer color.
It's not.
I just want to let you know that.
I know. Okay. But this happens to be Valspar, which you just get at a hardware store. Now, I personally would never use Valspar as a primer, but
nor pink.
But we wanted to try, so I got.
You just had a random color if you would give it a shot. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So this is Valspar. The other colors that we tried were We went through. We did Tamiya.
Mhm.
We did the Rust-Oleum, in case that one's, if you happen to be at Home Depot and want to get into that paint aisle. Army Painters, P3, Valspar, and Testers. All of these are represented here.
The tester was just the dull coat, correct?
The dull coat, yes.
Tester was just dull coat. Okay.
But we have, that's what you're seeing here. Here's the Citadel primer. I remember it.
Okay.
There's the Valspar, then the Rust-Oleum. I'd have to go through.
The big guy here has no primer
its
on
natural
it.
color.
The one I'm painting, this is crap.
You're going to paint something else?
I'll let him dry a little more.
Okay.
Actually, here, hold on.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Just don't look too close.
Yeah.
This is unprimed.
I hope no one.
I didn't even wash this. I just slapped some paint on, and it's taken really well. It looks really good. Yeah. So maybe we should try some Testers enamel and see how that looks. Yeah. Whoops. Oh, okay. All right. I can paint this guy. I think. How much you bet I can? How much you want to bet I can finish this guy before the show's over?
You hadn't finished one figure yet in any episode.
Come on.
You're still in the armor and the.
You want to bet? Let's make a bet.
Fine.
Okay. $20. Okay.
No, it's $1.
All right, fine, whatever.
$1.
Okay.
All right, get started.
All right. So anyway, back to priming. So these are primed.
Probably less talky, more painty, but go ahead.
That's okay. Don't worry about me. I know what I'm doing. So these are primed.
Yes.
Spray now primed. We have, again, personal preference, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you want to do it or not. Some people like to prime. Our recommendation is what? Our number one recommendation
is always going to be just simply soap and water.
Soap and water.
Just in these or bones, just soap and water is all you need. That's for us. However,
but I'm the guy. I've got to have a primer. I insist on having some kind of primer. What's your second recommendation?
And that would be to use our brush-on primers. We have them in white, gray, or black, and you'll see no problems or anything there.
Do we have pink brush-on primer?
We have October. You get a pink in your order.
That's not the same thing. So So to reiterate, we recommend soap and water for Bones Black.
Right.
And if you must prime, we recommend Reaper Bones brush-on primer.
So what I do here,
Okay. So those are our recommendations.
But as we've already discussed, if you've gone up spray, there you go.
Go for it. Go for it. Now, we actually had a couple of artists come in and test painting.
Yes. Had several people too. Yeah. Very good.
Bones Black come in and paint a couple pieces. Mm-hmm. We actually had a camera on hand when they were here.
Of course.
You want to see what it looked like?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's take a look.
Welcome, everybody. Ed Pugh here, President Reaper Miniatures. With me today, Michael Proctor, painter, extraordinaire painter, Hall of Fame painter. Michael, as you can see here in front of us, we have a bunch of Bones Black models. Michael's been painting them.
Yes.
Michael's going to be able to tell you what he thinks.
So, big improvement. This is what we had, a little demo piece to play with. I guess it'll spin around. We put it in the middle, it won't spin as much. That's maybe an hour or so playing around. God, it cleans up. It does clean up a lot better than the previous belts. We took a little X-Acto knife, scraped it across like the intention of Bones was doing. Cleans up a lot better, and you don't get the tearing that you may have gotten at some of the original first.
And it's not real hard. It's not like a rock kind of material.
No. It's the bendiness is far less. It took to one coat coverage pretty quickly. We did not prime that miniature at all. Just cleaned it with soap and water and a little brush. It worked really well. It was like almost painting on a regular. If you want to compare it to a metal miniature or a resin miniature or anything, once you start getting the paint on, it's just like that. There's not a lot of difference.
So you give it thumbs up or thumbs down?
I give it thumbs up.
Awesome.
I wouldn't be sitting here giving it a thumbs down, though. Right?
Well, you could.
No,
That's what I mean. No,
it's definitely a thumbs up.
With me today is Rhonda Bender, Bird with a Brush.
Hi.
Awesome painter, you must say. I'm sure you've seen her stuff all over the internet. What we have in front of us is a bunch of Bones Black. She's been painting those Bones Black models. She's here to give us her opinion of the experience she's had.
I'm fairly new to the material, but so far I really like what I've experienced. With the original Bones, if you wanted to remove the mold lines, you kind of had to pare it off with a really sharp scalpel or X-Acto blades, and these scrape more similarly to a resin model, which is much more convenient and easier to work with. So I've been painting on this guy for an hour or two, I would say. I did not prime him. I did wash it with soap and water. I wash any material miniature that I would paint with soap and water because people have been handling it, regardless of how it's made. If you've taken it out of the package, you've handled it. and the guy who put it in
Skin
the package
oils,
handled
yeah,
it.
exactly. Skin oil, everything, yeah.
So I always recommend washing miniatures for the best paint adhesion. The paint went right on. I even thinned a little bit on his leg right here with a bit of water. On a regular bones, that would likely have beat it up and had a lot of patchy look. If I tried thinning down to a wash consistency, that did still beat up some. It's still a little hydrophobic, but you can take the brush-on sealer or wash medium and make a wash consistency with that, and that's what his other foot has, because I wanted to test that a little bit. And then I just painted in my regular way on the rest of the figure, and
You liked it?
yeah, I enjoyed how the paint
So would
went
you
on
give it a
quite bit.
thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, absolutely thumbs up. Two thumbs
Awesome.
up even.
2 thumbs. Oh my God! Wow. Well, there you have it. Thank you all very much, and thank you for coming up here.
Well, thanks for having me.
So obviously the most important thing for a painter is detail and how well
Detail.
a model and how well the material is going to hold the detail.
Mhm.
So what do you think here? What do you think? Do you think these guys hold pretty good detail?
These are every bit up there with resin. As you start going through here and finding the subtle capture is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I wish I could sit there and just keep picking stuff out and showing it to
They're
you.
crisp.
Hell, I just dry brush a little
They're
bit.
crisp. This guy has really sharp edges.
Mhm.
They're not rounded over or anything like that. They're really sharp, really crisp. Looks really good. Even the pink T-Rex here. Goodness gracious. Even though he's pink, all his teeth are there. All the details in the gun, the tail, really nice. Really, really well done. So the Parasaur, he's really cool. All the subtle texture on his tail.
Oh, no, I was looking at it earlier. The head, just everything
Yeah.
about it.
It's really, really great. So yeah, the detail's there. Detail's there. And you know what, Ed? Not only did we have 2 painters give us their opinion on the Bones Black models,
Uh-huh.
we even had 2 sculptors come and give us their opinions on the Bones Black models.
And they were the sculptors of the Bones Black?
They were some of the sculptors of the Bones Black stuff. And you know how those sculptors are?
Wasn't
Picky.
me.
Oh, they're picky.
Oh, God, yeah,
They're so picky. They just want to complain. Let's take a look at a video.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at a video
All fun, guys.
of
right?
2 of the most complaining sculptors we know. Take a look at this.
Well, here, before you do here, I just put a quick brush. I'll just jump in there. I just did a real quick dry brush on this with white over the black. And I'll just let it rotate around. And y'all, oh, you can't see the top anyway. So this is what I'm finding on it. To me, this is amazing. As I said earlier, it's just an entire leap. So anyway, without further ado.
Now let's watch the video.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Pugh, president here at Reaper Miniatures. Today with me is Bobby Jackson, world-famous sculptor. In front of us are a lot of the new Bones Black figures. Bobby sculpted a lot of these models. They're here. We now let Bobby tell us what he believes the outcome is.
My opinion is that this is definitely superior material. 2 things. One simple one, it's a lot stiffer. So the
durability.
the
and
durability,
stiffer-
yeah. So I mean, it still seems to be just as tough. So you can throw it around and abuse it if you want to, but you're not going to wind up with curly weapons or weapons that bend into shapes that are inappropriate. And also, I like the matte surface and the opaque surface. So you don't have the subsurface scatter that you had with the original.
The strata, yeah.
Yeah, with the original
Yeah.
bones, so that you can really see the detail. And it looks to me in this latest generation that the cavities are much cleaner and truer to the original sculpt.
So we're getting
There's-
better detail,
yeah,
more
yeah.
attention to
This
detail.
is, my estimation, this is definitely a level up.
All right. Do you have anything in particular here that you liked about what you have here?
I was really surprised at how this guy came out.
Let's
I
put
mean,
him
that's
on the-
that's an elaborate guy, and with lots of little
The little, all of the,
little flowy parts
Yeah.
that in the softer original bones material wouldn't work nearly as well as that. And I think the cavity that they machined for this guy, that's top notch.
Yeah.
All you can see all the little details on his mask. All of that stuff came through. Great fidelity. I'm impressed. And I'm not just eating cheese with you, Ed.
Oh, wow. Or bacon.
Or bacon,
There
as
we
the
go.
case may be.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Ed Pugh, president here at Reaper Miniatures, and with me today, Gene Van Horn. Enough said. Awesome sculptor. In front of us, we have a bunch of Bones Black models. Gene's sculpted in these. I want just to help y'all out, we're going to get Gene's opinion on what he's seeing here. He created the master. He knows what he's looking at.
I'll tell you, Ed, some of this stuff is looking great. Tiny details that I don't think would have shown up in the original Bones material. Like, like on this Bard we've got here, the little pegs on her...
the tuning pegs as well as the frets.
Yeah, and the frets showed up, and the I don't know what you call that, but the little cuff on her boot.
Yeah,
just
the downturn,
real sharp details.
Well, here, let's put her up on the screen.
Put her up.
And let everybody see.
She's got a little companion dog, and the fur texture, which I sculpted very subtly, is there, and it's very, very subtle, just the way I had intended it to show up. But it's there, which is just amazing.
All right.
So,
and then what else do we have?
Oh, we've got some cave women from the Orc Girls from the Lost Valley expansion set. Yeah. And like we can see the details in their
on the hair,
on her dreadlocks and the textures and the.
And you did all these 3D
wood. Yes, these were all done digitally. Okay. These were all done digitally, and this new Bones Black material just really captures the details nicely. Here, some of the other girls here. She has a little. The sorceress here has a little tiny bikini on. You can see the teeth in the skull.
Yeah.
It's just a really good material. We've got a living statue. You can see the cracks in the marble, and you can see the veins and the feathers, and also too we were talking earlier is the durability, but also too the stiffness of the material. It's just as good as Bones as far as the
flexibility
of it, but it seems like it captures more detail. It really does. Nice.
All right.
Very nice.
Well, let me put this up here.
Sorry. Yep.
Did you have any one figure in this last Kickstarter that you enjoyed doing the most?
I enjoy doing all of them. My favorite figure is the figure I'm working on.
Honor at the moment.
Yeah,
okay.
Honor at the moment. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming by today.
Well, thanks, Sid.
We'll see y'all later. Take care.
So obviously these are very cool models.
Yes.
But aside from me and you and the people at Reaper, no one else has access.
Very rare commodity, right?
Right. Yeah, super rare. Hello, eBay. So if people want to get their hands on Bones Black models, when are they going to be able to do that?
If you were one of the lucky backers in our Kickstarter 4, you'll be very surprised to find out all of the expansion sets were done in Bones Black, as well as several of the options were done in Bones Black.
So the Dreadmere expansion, the Chronoscope expansion, Lost Valley, Dark Reach, and Fan Favorites expansions, all
done
Bones
in
Black.
Bones Black.
Cool.
So you'll be able to get your hands on them, a lot of them, very early on.
Yeah, as soon as we start fulfilling and the backers, you'll be the first people to get.
What are we going to do for the people that didn't back it?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. So if you're one of the unlucky people who did not get into Bones 4, we're going to give you the opportunity each month in 2019 to get a unique non-Bones 4 Bones model each month. We're going to start with this owlbear in January 2019. Well, just like the Dungeon Dweller promotion, just like the 25th anniversary promotion, every $40 order, you're going to get a free Bones Black model. We're going to throw it in your order for free.
And this is the first one, which is not part of the Kickstarter.
Never been seen before anywhere. So this is part of the promotion.
So that's going to be our new Figure of the Month program for next year.
He's for January, February, March, all through this year. We're going to give you a brand new Bones Black model each month for free with your paid $40 order. Pretty cool.
Yep. So even if you're unlucky, you're still lucky.
Yeah. So let's look at progress on our models.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I got mine dry brushed. I'm still on that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I could stop there because I could just say it was a noir.
Yeah, kind of a noir kind of effect
I'll
or
finish
whatever.
him up. He'll be good.
Okay.
He'll be good fodder for future episodes and stuff.
Yeah,
let me see if I'm going to win my dollar.
I can
just
hear
go
it.
ahead and pull it out now.
You owe me $1. You owe me $1. Look at that. I did all that.
Oh yeah.
I worked hard.
I'm sure that somebody worked hard. I'm going to have to debate whether or not it was you.
In between takes, I had some static grass. This was actually painted by Michael Proctor. This is part of the Bones 4 Kickstarter. This is from the Dark Reach expansion. This is a Bones Black model that was painted by Michael Proctor. You want to see side by side? You can see them side by side.
Oh, now the truth comes out entirely.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
That's a really neat piece. I like
That's
that.
pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited.
So there
You
we go,
excited?
everybody. We got
I'm ready to roll.
You're gonna love Bones Black. We're loving it. We're all over it.
We're very excited. We think people are going to be very happy
Good
to
about
see
it.
the new
So-
new pieces coming out in Bones Black in 2019. So
So
expect
what's-
good things.
So we've done that. What's next?
Well, Justin,
Guys, I feel like we haven't really done questions in a while. You think we should return to that?
Yeah, sure. Unless we've got
it
Naked
seems
Pro
like we haven't done
61 or
questions in a
whatever it
while.
is.
But,
Seems like we
yeah.
haven't.
Yeah, one of his
So
questions
hey,
burns.
guess what? We have a graphic for the question of the week.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
here it goes. Ready?
Our big, glamorous graphics department finally
Finally.
put together.
Finally, you ready? Here it is. Watch this. Blam! Questions of the week. See it? Question of the week.
There we go.
Fanfare,
Right here.
music.
It's gonna fill up the whole screen. Some graphic I worked his tail off for hours and hours and hours on this thing.
I'm staying
Whatever.
silent. I will be
He
quiet.
definitely didn't use Fiverr.
All right. So what are our lucky choices?
All right. Let's see here. First question, because we'll save the question of the week for the last
Okay.
question.
So
We
this
usually do
is
it
not the
first.
question of the week. This is
This
just
is not.
a random question.
Yes, it is. This question comes from Michael J. Freddy. I believe he's actually a local. I think he comes up
Yes,
here
yes.
Oh, hi,
semi
Michael.
regularly.
He comes in Sunday RPG Day.
Cool.
and
Pretty
Saturday
cool
Paint
guy, I believe.
Yep.
He says that in ReaperCon of 2018, he submitted a couple of models, and he had a question about the MSP paint contest.
Okay.
He was told
Where's
by the
Brock?
judges. Yes, he was told by the judges that they would only judge one of his two models.
Correct.
He would like to know, why that is.
What's the thought?
No hard feelings either. He's just curious.
Curious.
Good question. Great question. Not a question of the week, but it's a great question nonetheless.
So you enter 2 models. You enter 20 models. You enter 1 model. We have 700 entries this last year. We have a small cadre of high-end professionals that volunteer their time to go in and do the judging. They only really have Friday night, Saturday morning, so maybe 5-6 hours
Yeah,
total.
there's not a lot of time there.
So what we do is per entrant, they go in and they're broken up. The team that's going to take care of whatever category they're taking care of, you're in that category. What they're going to do is they go in and they'll look at your 2 or 3 or 4 models or however many you've done, and they try and determine as fast and as best as possible which one of these has the best chance to garner you the highest award. And that's really, and then they will select that one model, and that's in turn what they judge is that one model. And that allows them to cover include everybody and cover a lot of ground real fast.
Yeah.
So you can increase your chances, I guess, the more you paint, but that gives them a bigger selection to see what your breadth of work, your level of work, quantity, all of that.
They're judging you on the best example of your best work. Right.
And that's really what it is. So out of that, that's why they choose just one out of that group. They'll also have the ability to move it to a different category. If you've chosen this category and they feel that you in this category, because of the level of work in that category, you might only get a silver medal. But if we move you to this category, which you're really eligible for, but you have a better chance of getting a gold, then they will move you over. Anything it takes to possibly afford you the opportunity to get the highest award possible. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, Michael. Hope to see you at ReaperCon next year.
Yeah.
Hope to see everybody at ReaperCon next year.
So what's our next one?
Well, I think now.
This is all right. Now we can do the blam question of the week. All right.
Yes, fanfare, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
This next question comes from a guy named David McCourt.
David.
It's actually kind of a two-parter.
Gone broke.
No.
61.
No,
Yeah.
he has some serious questions, some good questions.
Okay.
Kind of a two different questions, but it's all rolled into one here.
Okay.
The first part is, what is the process for translating a metal miniature to resin or even plastic?
Oh, it's easy. I go up to Ron and say, Ron, you need to take this and turn it into plastic.
And that's it.
So it's very easy if you're the CEO.
Super easy. Yeah.
It revolves around the in-production process. So if it's a resin model, it goes in silicone molds. If it's a metal model, it'll go. We use rubber. You can also use silicone in metal, but we happen to use black rubber. So it's a different process there for production. Then if it's going into plastic, you're going into a different process there, which are steel tools, steel or aluminum. There's different mediums. We use steel. But they actually have to cut the cavity in the mold in that process and to create the cavity so that you can inject it with the material and get the model out. In the case of rubber and silicone, you're actually using the material around it. So what happens here is really the process to get to where you want to go, once you've decided that, that's what you decide. Now I have to go back to the beginning, and that's the path you follow. If you're going to go for a steel tool mold, you probably want to start with, you want an STP file. There's different files at the end, but they need a machine cutting file. If you're going to go to other types of plastic, like the bones, then they use they'll make a copper master of the model itself and use that to burn the cavity and polish it out. If you're going to use silicone or rubber, rubber needs a heavy duty model because you're putting it under 1700 psi in a vulcanizer, all these very dangerous, I don't know what you call it, destructive aspects to it. So that in turn needs a very strong master. If you have a very frail master, or you're going to resin, you use silicone. So it's more of when you see the model, well, where's this going to be? Oh, it's going to end up like that. Well, then it sort of gets into this pipeline and goes this path, where this one's going that path.
Right.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That was 2 for me. You got to have, I don't care what the question is, you answer the next
I got this next one all by myself.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
This is finally when I was going to feel a hard one. I don't
And,
want to hear it.
Send me all these Bond questions.
His second part is, are there any plans for re-releasing the resin dwarf bust or any new resin busts in the future?
I got this. I got this.
Oh my God. All right.
So, as a matter of fact, this is really weird. I just happen to have right here the new packaging for the Grudge Bust resin model kit. What do you think? Pretty cool. And Doug, what's his?
This is David.
David.
Court.
Same thing as Doug. I'm sure he'll
David Court. David Court? McCourt. I'm sorry, David.
Doug Court.
Doug Court. You're going to win a Grudge Bust for your question of the week. There you go. Hot off the press.
Yeah.
First one packaged in the new packaging.
True story, though. He went out to get the prize for this week. We hadn't even
didn't know the
questions and walked in with that.
Walked in with this
because that was they were getting ready. They're getting ready for processing.
This is the new clamshell packaging. We kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool.
Well, so that answers kind of the first part of that. Do we have any future plans for any other busts in resin?
We have been talking about doing some more stuff like that.
Julie's got some.
There's we have a
in.
really cool dragon bust that we only gave away at ReaperCon last year, which I think is begging to come back into production.
Yeah.
And there have been questions discussion about maybe releasing stuff in Bones Black and Bust. So
that would be great.
So that's just something, there's all kinds of opportunities now for us to do stuff with Bones Black.
I think this simple answer is I do think it sounds like we're going to definitely be doing more in the idea of busts and the sizes of the busts.
You hear that? You heard it here first. We're doing more busts. So get ready. So, hey, real quick, if you want to know a little piece of trivia, this was when Jason Weeby did this. He was originally going to do an orc as another, like a bookend piece. So you'd have the dwarf on one end and the orc on the other. And we never did the orc, so maybe that's a good time to
push him on that. Yeah.
And by the way, Jason, if you're watching, hope you're getting better. Hope you're feeling better. I know you were not doing too well this weekend, so we hope you're getting much better. So we're thinking about you and hope you get out soon.
So,
all right. Well,
I think that about wraps it up.
Well, I guess there's not really much to dry, but they're going to dry. Okay. So, thanks for watching. Remember to keep up with all the news and latest information at www.reapermini.com.
And it's also social media, YouTube, Twitter.
Social media. Okay.
Whatever. The YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. Just get there, have fun.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy social media.
Happy social media. And we'll see you next week.
Tell you. Okay. You ready? Got it? Ready? Go. Wow.
Pretty cool. All right. Him and his toys. So if you're sticking around for the stinger, we're all conditioned to look for stingers now, right? This is our first Reaper planned stinger. I know Justin's put in stingers at the end before, but this is our first planned stinger.
Right.
This is our Bones Black.
Why are you stinging them?
People want to be stung. Here we go. These are two of the front runners for the Bones Black blister card.
Yes.
There's this one.
And then my favorite.
There's this one. Okay. And there may be a third one coming up. So we'd love to hear your feedback. Send it to ReaperLive at ReaperMini.com. Plus questions, too, if you want to send your questions to ReaperLive.com.
She doesn't have anything to do.
Check it out. This is stinger worthy. This is stinger stuff. Look. Blister 1. Blister 2. Blister 1.
Blister 2.
Blister 2.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
There we go. We're out of here. Bye. This one's going.
we don't get the clacker?
That's a nice model.
I'll just break everything.
All I see is an empty thing.
No, it's up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, Bobby Jackson, doo-doo piece, take one.
Do you use a legitimate father weather app that will like appropriately dress your kids every day?
I like the cart and the shit in the little boat too.
Awesome, Bobby Jackson, doo-doo piece, take two.
Welcome everybody. I've already forgot what I was going to say, so it'll be really short. See, my eyes slowly came around and just zoomed right in.
Were we quiet long enough?
No, you weren't. But no, I don't.
No, he said we didn't have to be quiet. I got it. It's recorded.